Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachahakwadash. Double honors as always to the apostles, the bishops, and the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Prophecy Watch, all right, and as you can see on the screen, U.S. develops AI virtual border wall. All right, and this is now in talks by both administrations. If you remember, all right, the condemning of Trump's talks of building a wall, right? That was a big ordeal, from the left. The talks of building a wall, all right, and pretty much they've opened up the borders, allowing all of these immigrants over into the United States, which now we're starting to see, hundreds of them, groups of them, do particular things, causing harm to U.S. citizens, and we all knew the plan all along was that they were bringing them over here. A lot of them are being, put into, the military, all right, not only in the United States, Russia. All right, they're taking in, various immigrants and putting them in their militaries. We know they're going to give them that charagma. All right, but also we know that the elites are setting up an order out of chaos scenario. So you have all of these immigrants over here, which is causing division. They're giving them aid. They're giving them housing, calling on U.S. citizens to even open up their houses to them, which this is causing friction between the left and the right. All right, the nationalist versus globalist agenda, all right, which pretty much is, two serpents head of the same body. They're on the same body, but it's a two-headed serpent. And as the scriptures say, he had two horns like a lamb and he spake as a dragon. All right, and now all of a sudden, all right, Trump, all right, who was supposed to be against the globalist, ideology. All right, Biden, who was against, having a wall altogether to a degree. Now, pretty much, they're all agreeing on building this virtual border wall. All right, and it's been in talks for some time, but we're going to start to see these things implemented, at these borders. All right, as they've allowed all of these, who knows what these people interests are, who knows, what they have, all manner of worry and controversy can come from these millions of illegal immigrants who are being brought over to the United States. All right, but the solution to the problem is going to be a virtual border wall. All right. And they're going to do this, all right, which is pretty much going to be how the new world is governed, period, through artificial intelligence. All right, remote video. And Trump, though he acts as if he's against, the globalist agenda, all right, he's in on all of this. All right, and I'm going to play a video from the Elder Ariala's last video, Path to the MOTB, that goes into, all right, how even now at the World Economic Forum meetings, all right, since everybody's onto them, they're allowing, people with talking points against their overall agenda, all right, to make people to believe that, they're tackling, both sides and they're here for you. They have a voice for the voice of the people, because pretty much everybody's woke up to them. But overall, this is the plan. As you can see, remote video surveillance systems, all right, autonomous surveillance tower, all right, integrated fixed tower, all right, and it says the U.S. government is building a virtual wall. See, now the wall will be virtual. Well, they'll be able to pretty much track, trace, all right, and, know what people's interests are. And we know what's going to complete this all is, all right, the implementation of the digital ID, all right, and eventually the charagma. All right, the U.S. government is building a virtual wall at the southern border by erecting hundreds of high-tech surveillance towers. And again, what have we told you? That they're building a digital version of the Tower of Babel. You see, but again, they need, all right, scare tactics. They need, people to be worried. All right, why do you think they're allowing millions of undocumented immigrants over here and then even giving them aid? All right, to people, so people can be angry, people can be on edge. Now we're starting to see, someone posted an article, hundreds of illegal immigrants, jumping a particular United States citizen. All right. I mean, yeah, Border Patrol has arrested 6,400 illegal immigrants with criminal convictions, 178 gang members. All right, serious crimes committed by illegal immigrants. All right, and it goes on and on. All right, 100 illegal immigrants, some with sex charges, in 25 U.S. cities. So you can see where it's going, right? Let's just go back. You can clearly see where it's going. All right, so again, the solution is going to be building surveillance towers, some of which use artificial intelligence to detect people in an effort to reduce drug smuggling and sky-high unauthorized, migration. All right, which if this was the problem, why did you allow them over in the first place? Why it matters? A record high number of people have entered the U.S. through the southern border this year, resulting in multiple crises, all right, and exacerbating U.S. custom, all right, and border protection staffing shortages. See, they're creating the problem, and as you can see, the solution is going to be surveilling you through AI and technology, all right, which the number one seller of this technology is called Babel Street. All right, you can look it up, Babel Street. All right, and Babel takes us back to the Tower of Babel, all right, which we're in Babylon the Great. So it's the same spirit, all right, but it's just new ways to implement, ways to get authority and have governance over your everyday affairs where you won't have any rights. See? But it says, but the new surveillance technology is giving rise to concerns over civil liberties, and digital watchdogs say. See, civil liberties will be no more. All right, you won't have liberty. Okay, you won't have freedoms, and that's what it's all about. That's what they want. All right, and when it's all said and done, all right, anyone who's against their plan, all right, will be sought out through this new way of governing things, which is artificial intelligence, which they can program artificial intelligence to have biases. Okay, so particular talking points can be, rooted out, sought out. All right, there can be draconian measures tied to you having viewpoints. All of these things are coming down the pipe. All right, even thought crime. Going back to the movie Minority Report, which that's what they're implementing, all right, with these new laws that they're coming with, as things are going to get out of control, and they're already spiraling out of control. All right, although there have been surveillance towers at the border for several years, the new autonomous towers can better detect abnormal activity. The U.S. has installed about 300 types of surveillance towers from California coast to the tip of Texas, all right, according to the Electronic, Frontier and Foundation. All right, and this article is from last year, December, all right, but this was the best one I found on it. But these are the talks, all right, that are going on as well, all right, between the two parties, as you can see things spiraling out of control. Now, I wanted to play this video real quick. Give me 1 second. This is from Elder Ariala's Path to the MOTB update video, Remnant Say 144 Ba. All right, subscribe, be edified.
Trust. And so they know which is not.
Okay, all that blah, blah, blah talk. Now she's getting to the part that I actually give a shit about.
And basically she said that the theme of the World Economic Forum is rebuilding trust. See, because through the spirit, that's being placed upon, starting with the prophets, the Holy Spirit, prophecy, going out and testifying. But there's a spirit on everyday people to really call out these plans and show you and show you things, even certain insiders. So now they're at the point where they need to rebuild trust. All right, that's why it's all going to be predicated upon peace and safety, because they're going to scare the shit out of you through, the loss of internet, connection, cell phone towers being, messed with. You're not being able to get, all right, on your phone. You're not being able to operate. You're not being able to do your job because of a grid attack, who they're going to blame on, Russia, China, or whoever, or they can blame it on immigrants who are over here who don't have the best interests of the United States. This thing can go many ways, all right? They have many, all right, scare tactics. And again, it all goes back to Isaiah, the 10th chapter, as we'll get it, all right? Unrighteous decrees that they have prescribed. They just need the necessary scare, all right, or catastrophic event to go ahead and implement what they want. But let's listen.
So check this out, what she's about to go into.
Not trust them, the group that's pushing back against ESG and these other talking points and initiatives that have been coming out of the West for several years. And now in order to rebuild trust, they're putting different figures, different people, and different talking points, in front of people and seeing if they'll be more accepting of the...
This is why they put that one Argentinian president, because it was like, why would you let him go on stage and talk this much shit at the WEF? This is why it's propaganda.
Right, and the scriptures talks about how he makes diviners mad. He frustrated the token of the diviners, the enchanters, the wicked. See, stand now with thine enchantments. Isaiah 47, thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsel. So they're having to redo, all right, represent the information, all right, and now add this and that to throw people off because everybody's onto them. See? And Mr. Burns died today. All right, Jacob Rothschild. Lord willing, we can get to that real quick, but if not, in the next little quick video. All right, because ultimately, he was 87 years old. It's not like, he just was old, but at the end of the day, the Lord is saying something through all of these things that are happening. All right, because he had his hand in establishing that state of Israel thing, man. But that's another lesson for another time. And he's called Lord Jacob Rothschild, the Lord of the Flies.
The ultimate game plan, if it's framed in different terms that appeal more to their values and their sensibilities, and also framed as opposing, particular figures that they don't like or they don't trust, Yeah, I think part of it too is just like a failure to for people to really understand the left-right paradigm and how it works. One of the hands creates the problem, and the other hand comes in, the opposing side, then comes to power and is, on offering.
Right. So now Biden.
See, and he's gonna break it down. Let him say it.
Has created a problem socially and economically. Now they're set to bring in maybe Trump or someone to come and correct it. But they're all going towards the same thing, which is CBDCs.
The solution to the...
Yep, and digital surveillance, which the digital surveillance and CBDCs are all a part of the same thing. All right, we don't know what these people are over here doing. We don't know what's happening. We need a digital currency so that we can have everything on a grid, so to make a better and more safe environment for you Americans. So they've allowed Biden to come in and totally stink up the field, destroy the economy. All right, everything's going downhill. Everything's like worse. I don't give a damn if you Democrat, all right, Republican, all right, which we the Hebrew Israelites, we don't deal with none of that. All right, we ain't into that. You got Jake talking about if you don't vote, you shouldn't have an opinion. All right, our forefathers died for the right for no. Our forefathers, all right, that we acknowledge, all right, are the men, all right, that you read about, the men and women you read about in the book of Hebrews, the 11th chapter. All right, our forefathers and foremothers, all right, who offered up their bodies as a living sacrifice, all right, for this platform we have, and as far as the truth, the legacy of righteousness being continued in the earth. These so-called forefathers and foremothers tied to black history, They died trying to be equal with the white man. Okay? And a lot of them were CIA agents and operatives on the left-hand side, all right, set up to confuse our people and lead them into a burning house. Okay? The scriptures don't tell us to vote. Okay? The scriptures say anyone we set over us, first of all, they're supposed to be an Israelite, all right, and they're supposed to ultimately govern by the law, statutes, commandments of the Heavenly Father. See? But as you can see, Biden has created, his administration has created a problem in the economy, a problem in the earth. All right? Immigrants everywhere. Okay, the gender confusion. All right, now someone has to come and set up the solution. All right, which again, the solution is going to be digital surveillance, governance, digital money, making everything digital and making everybody and forcing them to come up under this new system. Because the old system, all right, poses too many issues for the American people. All right, because there's too many freedoms.
Problem the other hand created, but it's the same solution both sides agreed on the whole time, more often than not. I'll give you an example with Trump, the border wall. So that was like his big thing. I'm going to build a physical barrier. I'm going to build a physical wall. And Democrats at that time said, no, our approach to border security is to build a smart wall. Yeah, built on sensors and autonomous drones and towers, surveillance towers and all this stuff. And then by the time Trump leaves his first term, that's his position too. The wall we're going to build is a...
Right, so they weren't against a wall. They just wanted it to be digital. Trump wanted it to be physical. All right, now they're all in agreement on making it digital. All right, and again, these things cause people to really clash. People were really going at it behind this border thing. Now you have all of these immigrants over here. Now they really want a border. So people are all over the place and you're being led to the slaughter. Okay.
Smart wall. We're not doing the physical barrier anymore. That was essentially his position in January 2019. And he and the Democrats are, in the same spot on border security. But somehow he's still seen as like the president that like plans to do the wall, even though in terms of rhetoric, he abandoned that and was going with the Silicon Valley approach with this company. The company that's building that smart wall has...
Boom. You see how you end up with what the overall plan is, a digital surveillance system.
Right.
But he was all the way, build that wall. Y'all remember that? And now they bring it back into the forefront because it links in with everything they want to do in the path for the MOTB. For what? It's your security, your safety, the integrity of America.
Right.
A bipartisan consensus. It's deeply tied to the CIA and has a lot of very troubling affiliations and is developing like drones. There's the drones on the border, and then there's the drones made by the same company that are being used in Ukraine right now to kill people without human oversight and stuff. It's not really a great solution, I think.
Right, because there's going to be drones as a part of the new way of governing things. All right, somebody has a particular talking point, somebody's against our plan, they can send the drone to take your ass out. All right, this is the way of governance, all right, and ruling that they're bringing about. So this is the book of Daniel, the 8th chapter and the 25th verse. And again, this is talking about the Greek Empire and Antiochus Epiphanes. However, where are we today? We're in the Greco-Roman Empire all over again. We know Rome is what gave them their authority. All right. But guess what? All right. There's remnants of the Greek rule and culture here as well, because the Greeks were the beginning of this beast system. And again, that which is then is now. So the spirit of Antiochus Epiphanes, who brought about Hellenization, is back here today. And what was Hellenization? The forcing of Greek ideologies, gods, practices upon all of the heathen that they had conquered, including the Israelites, the Jews, forcing their ways upon them. And what we're seeing is a digital, all right, Hellenization, all right, forcing their gods and everything upon you. All right, and ultimately, whoever has an opinion against it, all right, legally can be pretty much excommunicated and eventually taken back to the spirit world. All right, Daniel 8 and 25. So this is not talking about now, but that which is then is now. So this spirit of Antiochus speaks to through what these people are doing today. All right, because they're masters of deception. Daniel 8:25, and through his policy also he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his mind. All right, so through his policy, he's going to cause craft to prosper in his hand. Go on to what we read about Isaiah, the 10th chapter. All right, and in the first verse, and this is speaking, all right, to the Assyrian Empire. All right, and our people who were doing wickedness as well. Okay, but it all right, goes back to rulers and how wicked they rule. Isaiah 10:1, woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees, all right, and that write grievousness which they have prescribed. Okay, they wanted to make it illegal to speak against alphabet people, so they put all of this alphabet behavior out there, and they've made it completely trashy and tacky to the point where it's like this is just too much. All right, but on down the line, to have talking points against these type of people is gonna be outlawed. Again, they already prescribe, which pre is right, right? Pre is before, right is, all right, scribe is right. So prescribe, they write it before, and then they implement things in the earth through their wickedness and witchcraft, and then again they bring a solution. Okay, so again, and through his policy, Daniel 8:25, Antiochus, he shall cause craft to prosper in his hand, and he shall magnify himself in his mind, and by peace shall he destroy many, and he shall stand up against the prince of princes, and shall be broken without hand. All right, he actually came up against, the temple. All right, and this time he's going to come up, they're really literally fighting. They're setting up this digital hub to fight against Yahweh Shai, man. All right, that's a big part of everything that they're doing. They're fighting against, all right, the truth. They're fighting against, all right, the people of the truth, and they're fighting against the Lord, all right, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua himself, all right, the true powers. So this devil, all right, is getting ready to come with that peace and safety. Okay. First Thessalonians 5:3, for when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye brethren are not in darkness, that day should overtake you as a thief. So there's a lot of people who are going to be overtaken as a thief as they come with this peace and safety. Because again, as we always go into Revelation 11 and Revelation 13:11. All right, and I beheld another beast come up out of the earth. Okay, and I believe it's called the bipartisan system.
Yeah, a two-party system is a political party system in which two major political parties consistently dominate the political landscape.
There you go. All right. And there's other parties, right? But it's these two that dominate. Okay? And they all play for the same team. All right, but they all have a path, all right, on people to follow to get there. All right, to get to the original goal that they want, which is an NWO. Okay? So again, I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Okay, and the horns, if you look at it, the way they present it is if it's really there to help you. All right, karas. All right, in the Hebrew, it's a symbol of strength and courage. All right, and that's how they try to present themselves, a mighty and valiant helper. All right, helper, a mighty and valiant helper, the author of deliverance. Okay. A helper is a person who helps someone. All right. And again, a mighty and valiant helper, the author of the deliverance of the Messiah. And this is their way to make themselves a Messiah through scare tactics, through problem, reaction, solution. See? And again, when they come with that chip, he calls it all all right, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark in their right hand and their foreheads, all right, the word receive, okay, because even the digital system, all right, is going to be presented to give to some, the word is didomai, to give to someone on one's accord to his advantage. See, they're going to present it as if it's to your advantage. See that? To his advantage. Okay? Advantage is what? A condition or circumstance that puts one in a favorable or superior position. Okay? And a charagma, this accepting this digital system. All right? Which before we get up out of here, we're going to be in a digital system. All right? We're going to have, you know, be wiggling around with digital money, but we know there's going to come a point where we have to physically, all right, we're going to have to separate from this place. That's where we're going to have to live by faith. As the scriptures say, the just shall live by faith. To grant, to give one asking, people are going to be begging for this when it's all said and done. Let have, to supply, furnish necessary, to deliver, to reach out, extend, all right, to give over one's care, to give over to one's care. And this is what you're doing. You're going to ultimately give, people are going to be giving their souls over to the beast. Something to be administered. Okay? To pay, wages, reward. All right? And this is how you're going to get paid. This is how you're going to buy. This is how you're going to sell. And this is they're gradually taking you towards the system that they want. Okay? To give to someone, to follow him as a leader and master. All right? To give one to someone to care for his interest. To grant one or permit one. See? To grant or permit. All right? So to be permitted, all right, to be granted into this new system, all right, this is what it's going to be. All right? So, you know, that's pretty much it. There's a bunch of stuff going on. But, let's see here. Google AI declares communism is our future. Okay, so here we are, man. Yeah, man. So we'll leave it there. I got to roll. Hopefully y'all edified on to the next. Shalom.